A wetland is a type of ecosystem that is flooded by water. The water will stay permanently or seasonally, and it's where oxygen-free processes happen. The number one factor that distinguishes wetlands from other landforms or bodies of water is the unique and special vegetation of aquatic plants that have adapted here to the hydric soil.
So there's 4 types of wetlands. This right here is a swamp. And swamps are low-lying and uncultivated where water collects. Marshes are lowland and flooded in wet seasons or high tide. Bogs are wet, muddy, soft brown, and it accumulates peat, which are deposits of dead animal material. And fen is a low and marshy and frequently flooded area of land.
There are many types of plants in a wetland, also trees. Some of the few are salt marsh cordgrass, smooth cordgrass, narrow-leafed, broad-leafed, and common cattails. There's also red maples and sedges. Those are just some of the few.
That can be found here is this cypress tree down there, cattail, and buttonbush.
Salt marsh cordgrass and smooth cordgrass are tough longleaf plants in a type of wetland that can be used to control shoreline and provide habitats for other animals. Narrow-leafed, broad-leafed, and common cattails are one of the most common plants in a wetland. They have unique flowering spikes. Alright, a red maple is a type of tree that's very common in a swamp. They're also known as swamp maples, water maples, or soft maples. They're the most abundant native tree in North America. Bald cypress is another tree that's hardy and tough, and it adapts to a wide range of soils like wet, dry, and swampy. Saltgrass and spikegrass are another common type of plant that is in a wetland. They both grow in salt zones, but they're short and flowering, and they can control shoreline. Another type of wetland plant is a sweet flag. A sweet flag is a tall, flowering wetland monocot.
What we found around here are blue heron, green heron, osprey, a bald eagle, and there's also a bunch of crows. The type of soil in a wetland is hydric soils. Hydric soils are saturated, flooded, or ponded long enough during the growth season to develop anaerobic conditions in the upper part that favor the growth and regeneration of hydrophytic vegetation. So right here we're in a marsh, and why are wetlands important? It prevents flooding, and it's basically like Earth's sponge.
So the federal law that protects wetlands is the Clean Water Act. It's basically saying like the fertilizers and all that you put on your grass. So back in the day, they used to have like pesticides, like really bad pesticides that used to cause cancer. I mean, they still do cause cancer, but it's not as bad anymore. And so they limit the amount you can put on it. They limit the amount of chemicals the company can put in the fertilizer. Ways humans can help is like not destroy as much, so like find other property with stable land. And then another way the government's trying to help you, like you told us about this, is how when a big corporation want to like build on wetlands, they have to make 10 5 acres or protect that wetlands around it if they want to use 1 acre. All right, so some of the ways humans have negative effects on wetlands is that a bunch of destruction happens. Like you can look over here, and this has been destroyed. It used to be land. And then if you walk over here, one effect of wetlands is one destruction can happen is this thing called riverside slump, and it's when there's too much land and then the bulkhead and the water all build up where the wetland used to be, and it slumps down real hard.
Yeah.
So what the U.S. Army Corps has to do with the wetlands is that it helps protect the wetlands. They do higher taxes on the wetlands, and some owners around here have gotten mad. Like we have a no wake zone because wake was coming up on the land and destroying their land. So they had like a U.S. Army Corps meeting, and they got that land deducted off their thing because it was getting destroyed. So they started protecting it more. Like this is becoming a no wake zone because wake has destroyed our property right here. So yeah, it's a good thing.